Bun, vom începe cu domnul Kent Orrgren, care este membru fondator al Asociației RomaniaActive și este CEO al lanțului de cluburi de fitness World Class Romania. Cu peste 35 de ani de experiență în industria de health and fitness, Kent a avut o serie de funcții de management în cadrul unor rețele de fitness de top din Suedia și un palmares redutabil de proiecte de succes. În aplauzele dumneavoastră, Kent Orrgren. Hello, Kent. Yes, I will give you mine.
Thank you. It's my turn, yes? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here. It's very great to have the chance to gather us as an industry and as peers in this industry. And it will be a great time to be able to share some of the insights that we have from our industry. Today I will speak about the European perspective very shortly, and then I will speak about the Romanian perspective, and then I will also explain a little bit what we are doing in RomaniaActive. And in the end, hopefully all of you will say that now is the time, if I'm not a member already in RomaniaActive, you will join. This is the message I will send. But the main message today, I also want to share with you, and I hope you will feel it when I present it, is that Romania has a huge potential. As an investor, or a club owner, or whatever reasons, or a supplier, whatever reasons you have to be in this industry, I cannot explain how much potential this industry has in Romania. But I will try today. So bear with me, there will be a lot of slides. Some of them might need more explanations, and if you want to come back and discuss further with me, I'm happy to do so in the breaks. If you want the presentation to be shared, you can to discuss it with George, and of course everything is shareable that we are presenting here for you. So I have 25 minutes and I'll try to be brief. Starting with key trends and developments of the European market, we can see that after the pandemic in 21, 22, the whole industry grew back to 2019 levels, more or less. We as an industry grew back 12.3% in membership improvements on a European aggregate level. There were not much of a club change. There were some clubs that were closed and some opened. So it was more or less the same number of clubs. All in all, the penetration rate in Europe is around 10%. And the total number of revenues in the industry is 28 billion euros. It's seen down here. Here is the penetration rate. Here is the number of membership change. Why am I telling you this? Because I will compare it with the Romanian development shortly. Okay? Also, just to show very quickly, this is a very hard slide to see, but what I would like to explain to you, what is it that the ecosystem of our industry contains? It's everything from what we call the brick and mortar and the indoor gyms that we know of very clearly. It also is starting to become more and more businesses for outdoor. More and more growing on the digital. I will come back more on this one. And then there are suppliers. And then in the end, in the middle, there are also integrators or intermediates that are working to connect the consumer with all the different types of services that the industry is providing. This is the full ecosystem. And here you have some brands covering this. There are some hotels even that are in the indoor. You have corporate buildings that have their own fitness gyms, locations also as chains. And you have the studio, the medical, you have the premium market, you have the mid-market, and you have what is called the value market. Okay? Here is another big trend that our industry is facing, is the digitalization. Everything that is going on in our industry is now connected very quickly to the digitalization. How to work with different types of tools, from fitness trackers to automizing the processes in the gyms, working with the proper CRM or ERP system that helps you have control over the financing and all the memberships and the segmentation of what kind of memberships and members you have inside your clubs is growing very, very fast. And it's about time for all of us to jump on that train in order to be part of the development and the growth. And here, McKinsey made a report that the full industry itself is now thinking of wellness and health in a much broader way. How do you connect the gyms with recovery? Because we know that if you don't sleep well enough, it will be very hard for you to exercise in a proper way and have a proper routine. So how do you connect this? How do you connect the nutrition? How do you connect the mindfulness or the health part? This is growing very fast. We also see that social media will not go away, that's for sure. And this is an important tool for marketing and getting to know. And it's also seen that our industry is one of the industries that are impacted by social media the most before you make you buy a membership. So you follow an influencer, you get inspired, and then suddenly you make a membership. So the decision making is quite high in social media. So the question is then for yourself to ask yourself, how active are you on social media? What kind of social media channels are you using? And how can you improve your presence in social media? For example, are you on LinkedIn? LinkedIn today is one of the fastest growing platforms for business-to-business interactions and learning from what others are doing, knowing, and you can follow whoever you want. You can follow your competitors, you can follow your, let's say, the ones you're inspired to, whether they are abroad or in Romania. So it doesn't really matter where you are. And same thing for social media when it comes to RomaniaActive. We're trying to be as active as possible. But here it's also how we can gather content in order to build the content properly for growing RomaniaActive and our industry. Here are just some numbers how the mental health, for example, is today a 36 billion industry. Just the mental health. And today, and all the evidence are there, the biggest contributor to healing mental health is exercise. How do we get our members and our non-members to understand that if you have some kind of, no one will ever say that they have some challenges with this, but exercise is the strongest tool to get this under control. Sleep and recovery, same thing. If you really work out hard, you will sleep well the day after or after the workout. But it's also how you connect this. It's 49 billion. Digital connected fitness with wearables. I'm sure all of you have some kind of tracker somewhere, either in the phone or you have it on your wrist or you have it as a ring. It's coming very fast. And how can we work with this as operators? Personalized nutrition is also growing 64 billion. Here is a slide that I will most likely share with all of you whenever we meet in order to see how we as a country can move the needle and having a higher penetration. At this given moment, Romania, as you see on this, up here, having 4.5% penetration. We are behind Poland, behind Italy, France, and Spain. But we have the best opportunities in Europe right now, and I will tell you why very soon. We also see that the markets and the part of the markets that is growing the most is both the value market and the premium segment. So here is a huge opportunity, and here are all the reasons why Romania is growing very, very fast, and it's the fastest growing market in Europe right now. There is a lack of sports infrastructure inside Romania, meaning just by building more gyms, there will be more members. It's very simple. If you as an investor have the chance to find the proper location with the proper business plan behind and you have the proper financing, you have the best opportunities to be successful. And the growth will not only come from the chains. The growth will come from the entrepreneurs inside the business industry as such, wanting to grow from maybe 1 to 2 or 2 to 4 or 4 to 6, whatever it is. Here is the big growth. And here we are seeing that it's successfully happening across Romania right now. Sorry, that way. So we can also see, as I told you, that the top variable trends is for respiration rates, blood sugar, blood pressure, and just to keep your pulse in balance. We also see that AI, personalized fitness, is growing very, very fast. Whether we like it or not, AI will be there and it will be challenging personal trainers online. I don't say that AI will compete with a personal trainer live, because I myself is a personal trainer and I believe the power of personalized interaction, human interaction, will be the strongest ever going forward. But we need to make sure that the quality on personal training and personal services are becoming stronger and stronger and better. That's for sure. We also see that all different devices, or created devices, are growing very fast. Either it's from a ring, it's being discussed for glasses, it's being discussed for all other devices that we are wearing or using on a daily basis. So you will see it popping up. For example, this Aura ring, it's a Finnish investment and innovation, where you wear a ring that covers everything. It covers your sleep, it covers your stress, it covers everything. You can get everything you want to see how your performance is. It's quite of an innovative. Now Equinox made a big announcement that they will make a collaboration with Aura and offer this solution to all their members. Of course, you need to pay for it, but then they will also make sure that when you're tracking whatever you're able to perform and improve, you can get points in their loyalty system. Just one way how you can work with digital fitness. Okay, now, how can we transform this into opportunities and potential into Romania? First and foremost, this is a slide where there is a lot of text, but I will keep it very simple. 22 was a year of strong recovery. End of the year financials will be able in mid-July, and we will make an update. But the forecast and the probability of what it will be has seen that our forecasting information is quite accurate. So whenever we make the update, it doesn't really shift from one year to the other. 22 was categorized as more intense on the M&A activity. Clubs were bought. Some were buying more than others. And it was a great interest of investors and growth perspective in this sector this year. And we are looking at it for next periods, 23 and 24, to be even more. So the curve was that we were growing very, very fast until 2019 to 193 million in 18, and then 238 in 19. Then it dropped in 2020, we all know why, and it bounced back in 21 to 195 million euro. We see here now the estimate for 22. We will fact check it by the end of July, beginning of August, will be somewhere around 263, which will be an increase from the year before, around 35%. But what I believe is the more important message and the interesting message, what we have done by research, is to see what's happening in 23. We believe, and we will need to check it when it's done, actually, it's that 23 will be 340 million euro. And then it will continue to grow into 24 and 25, reaching somewhere close to 450 million euro by 25. With, of course, saying this, we don't know what's happening in the future. We don't know what's happening with wars and everything else that's happening around us. But what's quite amazing, what's happening right now in 22, growing like this to 23. And we are in the middle of all the energy crisis, we're in the middle of everything, and everyone is scared about everything, and we're still growing as an industry. That is huge potential. You should also know, as I showed, the European average is that in the matured markets, since the dip was not as big, the recovery is not that fast, and they are plateauing a little bit more because they are at a higher level. We are coming from a lower level, and we're still growing. Keep this in mind because this will happen. And again, I will just jump back very fast to this slide. I was part of Sweden. Sweden is here. I worked in Sweden. I worked in the 4 Nordic countries, seeing how the penetration rate went from 7% up to 20%. During those periods, I see the same behaviors, the same challenges, the same things happening, going on. Bigger players, consolidating, entrepreneurs growing from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. And right now in Norway, suddenly, a big investment company is buying middle-sized, smaller chains and putting them together to becoming the second operator, number 2 operator in the Norway market. And why are you doing this in the matured market when everything is peaking? Why are you investing money in such a market where the penetration rate is an average of 24 if you don't believe that the potential is there? Then, if you have that mindset, and trust me, Dan will most likely confirm this, but the Norwegian investors, the Nordic investors, they don't jump into things by chance. They are analyzing more things left, right, up and down, and they are trying to make sure that the risk is minimum. They are investing. Norway is not part of here because they're not part of EU. They're too rich to be part of EU. So they are doing whatever they want, but they have money. And clearly, they see the potential to grow in a matured market. Then in an unmatured market, an emerging market, we have even more opportunities. I would say 10 times the opportunities that you have in a matured market. Okay. Moving here. This is a slide that, let's see here. This is the slide that here are the expectations for 23, 24, 25. And here you can see that the member penetration in the urban population is expected to grow from 22, circa 8%, to 9, to 10, to almost 12%. If we do this, we have done a fantastic work, and all you investors in the club business, in this industry, you will be very happy because things will be moving good for you. Okay, one other argument why this is a huge potential. Ipsos, one of the largest research companies, made a research before the pandemic started, without knowing the pandemic was around the corner, and they asked Romanians where they placed health as their reasons of happiness and well-being. Only 9% put it in top. 9%. And it correlates quite good with the fact that the penetration rate of 4% is in the market by then. Now, they asked the same questions in the end of 22. If you don't believe me, you need to just check this link and you can read it yourself. But 64% of Romanians after the pandemic states that they see that health is the number 1 reason for happiness and well-being and reasons to focus on. Do you think that this window will be there forever? No. This window is here now. If you as a club operator or an owner, investor in this industry doesn't take the chance to work on this now, this window might close. And maybe people go back to the sofas and sit down and say, well, I tried, it was nothing for me, I will not exercise now. But now the awareness is huge. It's not like 20% shift, it's not like 50% shift. How many percent is it, Lucian? Quickly. No. Doesn't matter. It's a huge potential, right? Okay, it's a major shift anyway. So, again, Romania is the fastest growing fitness market in Europe. We're estimating it to grow by 600,000 new members by 27. All the research are backing this up. We have one of the lowest VAT levels and tax levels in Europe for operating as a business owner, which is great and a huge opportunity for growing even more. And I will also share with you the rationale why RomaniaActive is active and why we're doing what we're doing. So we want to grow this industry and we want to facilitate the industry to grow as much as possible and double it by the end of 25-27. This was written before getting out of the pandemic. We want to work to provide a supportive, professional, innovative knowledge-sharing platform for all our partners to make sure that everyone can be profitable, improve quality, and grow. And also represent the interest of the Romanian health and fitness industry in front of the authorities and making sure that we can do advocacy for the proper things that helps all the industry to grow. Okay? Here, I would just want to show that these are steps we have taken in RomaniaActive from 2020 to make sure that we could do the deductibility improvement. We sent an impact study to the finance ministry. 21, we sent letters to all government officials, left and right, up and down. Everyone got a letter from us. They thought it was raining by letters from RomaniaActive, but it was not. It was just us sending a lot of letters. And in 22, we received some rumors that it might be something that will go all the way. And now this year, it was promulgated by the President Johannes, and we are now having the deductibility law. And remember, this law is dedicated for our industry. How many industries has a law, a tax law, telling about the deductibility for gym memberships? Specifically for themselves. How many industries? I can name only one, and it's health insurance. The others doesn't. We have the opportunity to make something great about this. And this is what needs to be happen. And I will jump through this. I will go to this one. The criteria for deductibility is important to remember. Us as an industry, we need to be able to make sure that we have the CAIN codes for the sports facility 9311, activity for sports clubs 9312, and activities for fitness centers 9313. If we can provide that piece of proof, the corporate companies can ask from us an invoice to prove that they can have the deductibility. They are the responsible for this. The corporate companies, they are the one deciding if it's going to be a deductibility for 400 euro per employee, or if they want to have another amount, 300, 200, 100. But they decide. So if we inform the companies how we can support their employees to be active and more healthy, then they will be more willing to invest in us. Imagine having someone who wants to invest in us, also getting a tax cut, a deductibility for that effort. And we only need to make sure we can provide the proper payment proof for them to deduct it fiscally. So this is something that we as an industry need to work on. We need to inform, educate, and inform again, educate again, why the employees should be getting the deductibility opportunity. But the decision makers are the corporate entities. Okay. We have a huge amount of arguments for the deductibility. And one of them is the fact that they will be investing in their employees' well-being, in their healthy lifestyle, to bring more attention to improve mental health, physical health of their employees, using more health and fitness memberships. And all of you will have more profits if this happens. I will not go through all of them, but there are very strong arguments that you can use towards the corporate companies that you have in your proximity if you want to make use of them. Same thing here. It's even more in the fact that it will increase the revenues to the state budget if we are more profitable, for sure. But first and foremost, it will increase the revenues for us as operators in the industry. Okay, so it will be a benefit for the employees. They will have, the employees, in fact, for them, it's like a discount. They can go to whatever gym they want. If their companies want to invest in them, let's say 100 euro, they will get 100 euro less on what they need to pay. If it's 200, it's 200 less. But all of this needs to be explained very, very simple, very, very clear, so everyone understands. And all we need to do is to be good at explaining what it means and what benefits the employees will get and the health benefits they will get as being physically active. And of course, the most benefits are for our industry, but it's also a win-win for the state. So all three are winning: members, employees, operators, investors in this industry, and the state. Here are just some activities that we have made. We made a press conference to announce this. We had speakers from RomaniaActive. We have Julius Marian Firisiak from Deputy Romanian Parliament and Secretary in the Committee of Budget, Finance and Banks. He was one of the helpful people supporting our initiative from RomaniaActive, together with others. And then it was Marcel Volpoi, who was a fiscal expert, also explaining this to the journalists in a proper way. Short, RomaniaActive wants to make a lot of call to actions and start moving Romanians to be more active. So it's more of a general call to action that all of the members in RomaniaActive will benefit from. So we can take research from Europe, we take research from US, whatever it is, and we'll translate it into Romanian activities and communication. And we want physical activity to improve, and we want the infrastructure of more gyms, more sports facilities to improve in Romania. Romania has one of the lowest penetrations of swimming pools per capita in Europe. Just by building a swimming pool, you can have a huge amount of people coming just for the swimming pool if there's no swimming pool in the proximity of that area. Just one example of many. Exercise is medicine. It's a tagline that we are working a lot with RomaniaActive. There is also a website called exercisesmedicine.org that you can get all the research that you want to be able to explain the benefits of physical activity and exercise, which we're trying to also promote on RomaniaActive. It's also AmericanFitnessIndex.org, explaining why exercise is good for your heart, for your brain, and so forth. Again, reminding you about corporate wellness, why this is important. We have the opportunity to grow as an industry if we get the companies to invest in their own corporate wellness. And 80% of employees who exercise regularly say they feel happier at work and are willing to come back to the offices. If they come back to the offices, they will go to the gyms close to the workplaces. And that will benefit us. Same thing here. There are a huge amount of increased sick days. There is lack of engagement in the workforce, and there are mental illness that are costing the companies millions of money, and we are the solution. If we work together, we can promote this together, we will grow together. And now I'm coming to, last year we did something called the European Week of Sports and the Be Active Day. And this year we managed to be part of a competition and get funding from the EU Commission for RomaniaActive. We managed to get 27K for this specific Be Active Day project. So we will focus on trying to activate as many as possible in the group in here, and the sponsors, suppliers, and the members to be under this umbrella of this active day on the 23rd of September. I will come back to this shortly. Now, I'll be very, very brief, give you a summary of what RomaniaActive did in 22. We had board meetings, of course. We started with website, communication on the web, on the social media. We have Facebook, LinkedIn actively now. If you're not following Romania Active, please do. You will find a lot of good, useful information for your own purposes on the site. If you have ideas on what type of content you would like to see on our website, be free to send us an email and explain what you would like to do. In January, we made an alliance with Tourism and Culture and Horeca. We called it Active, and we managed together in that collaboration reopen the gyms slightly sooner. The plan was to open last year in June. We managed it to open in 9th of March. This is at least what we believe, because we had a very good collaboration with Horeca, who were very strong in that part. And that shows that collaboration and being part of different types of associations matters. We have webinars. We had different events together with Upfit and this Fitness Business Romania. We did the Upgrade Sessions in Timișoara, in Brașov, and we had the Be Active Day. And then we also did the Health and Fitness Business Summit in November. And then in December, we heard the rumors that the deductibility law would be in place, but it was in place in February 23. Here's just some pictures from the Business Summit, which I all hope you will join this year. It will be, I will come back to this, in November, as I mentioned. There will be a huge amount of speakers, inspirational speakers that will give you a huge amount of information and hopefully useful tools to grow and improve your profitability. The plan for 23 is that the upgrade sessions will continue. The first one is today, and then it will be more during the fall. We did a lot of social media during the first part of the year, and we will continue doing this. Studies and reports about importance of physical activity. We are, of course, sending messages through all our members, supporters, sponsors, suppliers, and they have a lot of different important messages to send. Inut's Matrix is one of them, and he's always good at sharing good insights. But you will see all of the members being circulated here. We will have soon also information being released about the Be Active Day. I will share it very shortly. We also were present in at FIBO in Köln this year, and here we talked a lot about the Be Active Day that we will have now in September 23. Please book it. And the main reasons for doing this is that this is a perfect opportunity for all of us to unite, send a message to Romania, to the ministries, and to get their support in order to promote the industry even more. And then on the 16th of November, we have planning to have the summit. We also are planning to work together with Upfit and Fitness Business Romania to have a expo on the 17th. So be prepared for this, and please save the date. And in the end, creating a network and a sense of community for Romanian health and fitness industry and the physical activity industry just makes us stronger, and it's all in the best interest of everyone. And a strong voice we can achieve more, and together, let's make it happen. And just for you to know, if you want to join, there is a small card with a QR code. If you put this in, and there is a link to our newsletter. If you send a request to have it in your newsletter, we'll send you information also how you can become a member. Just as an operator, if you're not a member yet, Raluca, hello. We're more than happy to welcome you. It's only 350 euro for a year. 350 euro for an operator to join. It's like an insurance. It's good to have when things are getting tough. It's good to be united when things are getting tougher. We just looked around us and we've seen the strikes about all the teachers. They've been united and trying to push their way forward. I don't think it's that easy to do if you're alone. If there's something that we need to unite around, we need to be uniting now. We cannot do it like in the pandemic. The pandemic, we should have been stronger. We should have been there before. Attempts were made before, but now we succeeded. So that you can say that the pandemic helped us to unite, but now we need to have more power behind, more representation. And please let us know what we can do in order to involve you, include you, inspire you to join. Right? So.
Thank you, Kent.
Thank you.
Very, very insightful presentation, like always. Do you have questions? No? No questions? I have one comment to make on the last part that Ken says. Is 300? You said 350 euro? It's not even a membership that can be deducted. So if you got a membership from the deductibility, I think it's fair enough to join the organization. So enough selling, okay? Bun. Haideți să ne mutăm la următoarea prezentare. Puteți să schimbați, vă rog, slide-ul, da?